This video we're going to list our top 5 moments from the Arrow Season 3, Episode 9, The Climb, which is also its mid-season finale. Number 5. So I know it's kind of small and we already knew that Oliver loved Felicity, but when he's saying his goodbyes to her and saying, there's only 2 things he knows and that his second one is that he loves her, I was like, ah! So I know all the Olicity shippers out there were really excited about that scene. It was really adorable and I really liked it. Number 4. The Thea fighting Oliver scene was so awesome. I mean, her hammer pants were a little kind of weird and didn't realize that, those are back in style now. But when the Arrow was fighting Thea, and man, the look on his face was just like, holy shit, when did she learn to fight? And then when she goes, stay away from me and my father, and she jumps off the ledge, and just Oliver, the look on his face is he just doesn't know what to think. He's like, oh my god. Also the jumping off the ledge, sure, apartment I'm pretty sure was quite a few stories up, so I'm kind of wondering how she managed that, and she has some sick ninja moves. Number 3. I really liked, besides Ray, explaining to Felicity his whole story, which actually makes him a lot more likable as a character. But then later when Felicity goes to his office and is like, people that have as much pain as you, you're hiding something, and then he shares with her the whole Atom project and asks her to help him, and Felicity goes, why does this keep happening to me? So that in itself was funny, but I also like this scene because I'm glad that while we have the whole thing with Oliver being gone, that Felicity is still going to be on at least another team, and the Atom is going to take over protecting the city, and we're going to see more development on that. And it's really cool that we have Felicity going back and forth between the Arrow team and his team, and kind of seeing differences as they're both, going on without the protector of the city there, Oliver. Number 2. The reveal that Thea was the one that ended up killing Sarah was huge. I mean, I've heard some people going, oh, it's probably Thea, and I'm just like, well, why would it be Thea? There would be no point to her killing Sarah, and I don't care how much Malcolm, is teaching her. It doesn't make her just, go become a psycho killer. And then when it's that Malcolm ended up drugging her and, mind controlling her into killing Sarah, this scene was kind of cool because, one, I didn't see it coming, and it's really awesome to see who actually killed Sarah instead of this whole guesswork thing. And the other thing is to see just how much of a bastard Malcolm is. We knew he was a bastard and he treated his son like shit, but I kind of want to give him the benefit of the doubt and be like, oh man, he really loves his daughter and he wants, a second chance, and he's treating her better and training her to protect herself. And then it was like, nope, he used her to kill Sarah to end up enticing Oliver to kill Ra's al Ghul so that Malcolm could have his own blood debts erased and that he wouldn't be hunted anymore. So basically he gave his daughter a death sentence in order to get what he wanted, which is super shitty and makes you realize that Malcolm really, maybe in a sort of twisted way, loves her, but overall he's out for himself and he doesn't care who he has to use, even his own children. And then number 1, of course, is Ra's al Ghul. Everything about Ra's al Ghul. I'm gonna say Pedro Pascal, the actor who played Oberon. I really wish that he would have played Ra's al Ghul because, the actor that played Ra's al Ghul in Arrow was the not as attractive version of, but I think it would have been awesome because he did have that whole fight thing down, and for once, a duel to the death would have gone his way. There actually was Emil, the actor who plays Oliver, ended up tweeting a picture of Oberon and him talking, and he goes, man, I sure hope my trial by combat goes a lot better than his. And it was like, nope, it did not. So the fight was really enjoyable, really cool just seeing, I was going to be really PO'd if Oliver ended up beating Ross, because it's this guy is keeps coming back, he's so old, there's no way. And then, because if Batman and Arrow were having a fist-to-fist fight, Batman would beat the crap out of the Arrow, and Batman even struggles with Ra's, so it would have been really bleh. So I'm glad that it just showed how effortless it was for Ra's to just kick the crap out of him, And then, you know, when he's talking to him, the kind of little prayer he did to him at the end kind of made it seem like Roz might bring him back with the Lazarus pits. And I'm really glad that when Roz was talking about being challenged to combat, and he goes, you know, I haven't been challenged in 67 years, which means that most likely he does use the pits. He has been, you know, coming back and regenerating and rejuvenating himself. And so we do have an immortal Ra's al Ghul, which is awesome. Because I was really worried when, I don't remember who it was, whether it was the writer, director, producer, whatever. They said, oh, we don't want to bring in, like, superheroes and a lot of that, you know, stuff. We want to stick more realistic. And I was like, oh, well, are they going to make Roz, you know, just a normal man? And no, they didn't. So we're probably going to see the pits, which is super exciting to them to start integrating that into the Arrow and realizing that this stuff can work if you do it right. And I really believe that they are going to do it right. And so we know at the end of the fight, he ends up cutting Oliver in the side and then stabbing him and then kicking him off the edge of the cliff. And Oliver is dead. I have no doubt that Oliver is most likely dead. I do think that Roz is going to figure out that Oliver did this to protect his family, because you remember the story where Roz, you know, was talking about that he killed to protect his family and he'd do anything for his family. I think Roz is going to realize that Oliver did the same thing, that he was willing to die for the people he loved and protected, even though he was not guilty of the crime. And Roz is going to think that that is worthy of bringing up, and that he's worthy of that, and he's going to end up putting him in the pits, and Oliver's going to come back. And if you know about the pits, you know that when people come back, they're temporarily insane. So we're going to deal with a temporarily, like, crazy Oliver, and then, you know, everything will be fine. And what will be a bonus is when he's rejuvenated, supposedly all those scars will go off his body, so the makeup team on Arrow will not have to spend all that money on prosthetics anymore. So win for them. So overall, this was just like The Flash, a phenomenal mid-season finale. Getting, you know, like on the edge of your seat. Now we have to wait until January 21st to see the continuation. I think that even beyond the top 5, there was lots of little scenes in there, like when Felicity is talking to, you know, the Star Labs team, and we see on her computer, you know, yellow blur terrorizes Star Labs. And then I kind of also liked the flashbacks Oliver was having, and, like, he didn't have flashbacks of, like, Laurel or Diggle or Roy. It was like, oh, come on, man, you love more people than your sister, mother, father, and Felicity, but oh well. So, great episode, really looking forward to January. Now we kind of have, like, this blank space of nothing until then. So, make sure you like, subscribe, and come back for more geeky videos every day, and then make sure you are still on the edge of your seat, because starting January 21st, we will start our reviews again for the Arrow.